The International Labour Organization (ILO) defines child labour as work that deprives children of their childhood, their potential and their dignity, and that is harmful to physical and mental development. This includes forced labour conditions that put a child in danger of being mistreated mentally, physically, socially or morally. The suffering of these at-risk children is global. Worldwide, 152 million children are victims of child labour. 73 of these work in hazardous conditions. Almost half of the 152 million victims are aged 5 to 11 years. Africa accounts for almost half of child labour, 72.1 million, followed by 62.1 million in Asia and the Pacific. According to the 2011 UNICEF report, there were about 10.1 million children employed in child labour in India alone. That amounts to approximately 13% of our workforce, or in other words, 1 in every 10 workers in India is a child. There are 5 states which are India's biggest child labour employers: Bihar, Uttar Pradesh, Rajasthan, Madhya Pradesh and Maharashtra. Over half of India's total child labour population works here. India has seen a dramatic fall in child labour in the last few years. As per a statement in Rajya Sabha in 2014, the number share was 82.2 lakh.
Despite rates of child labour declining over the last few years, children are still used in some severe forms of child labour such as bonded labour, child soldier and trafficking. Across India, child labourers can be found in a variety of industries: in brick kilns, carpet weaving, garment making, domestic service, food and refreshment services, agriculture, fisheries and very importantly, mining. It is essential that 22,000 children work in mica mines in Jharkhand and Bihar. But as mines that employ children do not report it, giving the exact numbers is impossible. Around 60% of the world's mica comes from those two regions. Before mica ends up in shiny eyeshadows and many other makeup products, it passes through many networks of middlemen and wholesalers. And in the process, the exploitation of these children is conveniently brushed off. Successive governments have fought to end child labour and undertaken efforts to eliminate child labour in hazardous occupations and processes. The 2014 National Child Labour Project scheme enforced in areas of high concentration of child labour, rescued them from hazardous occupations and gave them enrollment in NCLP training centres. These centres offer bridge education, vocational training, midday meal, stipend healthcare services, all as precursors to mainstream formal education. Child labour and exploitation are the result of many factors, the most important being poverty and lack of education. Children belong in schools, not in workplaces. Child labour deprives children of their right to go to school and reinforces intergenerational cycles of poverty. Child labour acts as a major barrier to education, affecting both attendance and performance in school. The continuing persistence of child labour and exploitation poses a threat to national economies and has severe negative short and long-term consequences for children, such as denial of education and undermining physical and mental health.
Solution. It's essential not only to have a variety of schemes to tackle the wicked problem of extreme poverty in these regions, but also to empower children and make it socially and culturally unacceptable. Child labour and other forms of exploitation are preventable through integrated approaches that strengthen child protection systems as well as simultaneously addressing poverty and inequity. Improve access to and quality of education and mobilize public support for respecting children's rights. Most importantly, as individuals, we need to support responsible consumption patterns and shun products, especially cosmetics and fashion accessories, that employ child labour. As responsible citizens, when we witness a child working as domestic help or at some eatery, we must immediately reach out to these children. Listening to children is vital to achieving success in the fight against child labour. A key message in the UN Convention on the Rights of the Child is that children have the right to voice their views on matters affecting them and to have these taken into account. Children have the power to play a significant role in preventing and responding to child labor. They are key actors in child protection and can give valuable insights into how they perceive their involvement and what they expect from the government and other stakeholders. As we celebrate 75 glorious years of independence, let's pause for a moment and reach out to those vulnerable children who are forced to work to make ends meet or are simply exploited for vested interests. Together we can end child labor, and together we must.